it's a great story. We talk about, guys, the story sometimes is what makes it so special sometimes. And it's the fact that, come from a small school, JD, all about coming from a small school, being invited to rookie minicamp. Not necessarily, you could speak to that, JD. When you're invited to those things, it's not a lock you're going to be signed to the team. And Jaren has been signed to the squad. So we're going to get a chance for everyone to get to know him tonight. So guys, I hope you guys give him a warm welcome to Chiefs Kingdom. So we're going to bring on Jaaron Hayek on right now. What's up, Jaren? What's up, buddy?
What's up, Marcus? What's up, Jason?
What's going on, man?
Not much. You guys having me on?
Absolutely, man. I think it's going to be an enjoyable. I don't like calling them interviews. Okay, like we like doing is sitting around having a conversation amongst men and athletes. That's what I look at it like, right? We having a good time. So this is family. You are considered family now. You part of the Chief Concerns family officially. Okay, get on this show, you part of it. So we got the chat, man, happening. It's on fire at this moment. So it is. They're gonna be asking some good questions, but we're gonna get to it a little bit right here, trying to find out who you are, where you from, all those good things and whatnot. So just run everything down to us, okay? So
sounds good.
All right.
Yes. So, Jaren, we were talking a little bit backstage and stuff about kind of the process, the pre-draft process and everything. But kind of talk us too about how this kind of like when you first started talking to the Chiefs, and then when you got the call to be invited to rookie minicamp, like were you kind of shocked by that? So, kind of talk to us about the whole pre-draft process of what teams you talk to and stuff.
Yeah, so I think the whole pre-draft process for me, at least, started back in the beginning of January, when I attended the College Gridiron Showcase that was in Fort Worth, Texas, and that was in the very start of January. Not knowing what to expect, it was my first showcase. I was invited to that in the Tropical Bowl, and I chose to attend that one. Again, not knowing what to expect, wanted to go in there, wasn't sure how many scouts there was going to be, if any at all. So there was great representation at the camp. I speak very highly of it. I'm pretty sure all 32 teams were represented. And, after I saw the amount of scouts and how the process works and all the testing, they set us up pretty nicely before the first day of the camp. Told us how it's going to go. It was run very smoothly. And, I had a great opportunity there. There was, as I mentioned, all 32 teams. We ran through positional drills, ran through a lot of one-on-ones. So you had a lot of opportunity to get some eyes on you. So that was great for me. And after the first day, interviews follow. So we kind of they put us in a room for more than a couple hours, and we just wait. We just wait for teams to call us out of the room, see what teams want to talk to us, interview us, get to know us a little bit more. And I talked to about 2, 3, maybe 4 teams there. The Chiefs were one of them. I think they were the very first team to call me out of the room. And I don't remember the scout's exact name, but, he talked to me. He just wanted to get to know me, my background, where I grew up, my family, just a little things about me. And I thought it went great. But other than that, I didn't hear from them. Again, I was just telling you, Marcus, until the night of the draft. That was the only other time that I heard from them.
Damn. And that was January.
Yep, that was in January, was the showcase.
Man, JD, man, January, and all of a sudden here, I don't hear from the team till April. I mean, that's wild, JD.
Man, look, that's part of the process, especially when they doing the vetting of guys and who they want to get on the team. And so they got to know exactly what your character is, what type of guy that we got. When they do the interview, they checking everything, your responses, how your eyes look. Are you putting your head down? Do you have confidence? Do you speak with authority? All those things are being recorded from the scouts. And here's the thing, Jaren. Sure, you go out here and do what you're supposed to do, man, you're going to save somebody's job as a scout, okay? I'm just going to let you know, all right? So somebody might get a nice little bonus for signing you with the Chiefs. And so this thing is a rigorous process, and it could be, like, overwhelming at times. Was there any point when you was going through this that you're sitting there thinking, like, oh, wow, this is really it? This is what I have to do. I got to showcase what I've been doing for the past few years for my dream.
Yeah, I think definitely at that showcase was the first start. But then I don't think it really hit me until, obviously, I think a lot of draftees can relate to this process, was the pre-pro day / pre-combine process.
Okay.
That's kind of when you need to, as you mentioned, like really, sit down with yourself and say, I need to lock in. This is everything I want is right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only going to get out what I put in. So I need to, lock in for a month, 2 months, however much time you have before your pro day or combine. And, like I said, you're going to get out what you put in. So I think the pre-combine, pre-pro day process was that time for me.
Okay. Because I mean, at that moment when you're going through it, you got the butterflies. You're just thinking. I mean, jittery. Everything. All those things that just happen. They're just running through your head. And the only thing you're thinking about, like, don't mess up, right? Just don't. Let me not go out there and just lay an egg. I want to get this whole thing right. But once you get out there, you're doing everything that you've been training to do. It's football all over again, right? This you have been shaping yourself to become this guy and for everybody to see. And so I think when guys take advantage of that opportunity, apparently like you did, then you are impressive. That's what they want to see. They want to see everything about you. And so, you was able to deliver. The Chiefs got you here. And so I think, with what we see right now, kind of things that's going on with the Chiefs, I'm just going to ask you personally, what do you think that you can bring to the table? Okay. That you've seen from where you was in the combine to like getting on the Chiefs right now, the rookie camp, what do you think you bring to the table that might be different from everybody else?
Again, I don't know everybody's situation, so it's hard to say different from everybody else, but I know the things I can control that I know I can bring is, a super smart guy. I think I have a great advantage in understanding a playbook very quickly.
Okay.
I think that was at least evident to the coaches this past weekend when I had to learn that very quickly. A guy who's tough. I don't know. It's not in a lot of my highlights, but I love blocking. I love standing on run plays. I love sparking big plays. I love blocking for the guys behind me. Just doing my 1/11th on the field. And then again, just a guy who's willing to be on the field at all times, whether it's special teams. I don't need to be the punt returner, the main guy. I'm willing to block for guys behind me to score a touchdown, because as long as I'm doing my 1/11th, that's kind of what I'm about.
That's music to JD's ears hearing the receiver say they like blocking.
I'm telling you, we used to our offensive coordinator for Kansas City. His name is Al Saunders. Al Saunders is legendary in the NFL, and he would always reiterate to us that wide receiver blocking down the field will get you another 10 touchdowns for the season, if not 15. Okay, based off your effort alone. And so he really loved wide receivers that would go down and put their nose in and block. And so that shows a lot, man. It shows a lot about who you are. And so I love hearing that. It's like, you like going to block. Like hearing wide receivers you don't ever hear wide receivers like, yeah, I like blocking. You don't ever hear guys say that, It's always like, yeah, I like running the 9 route. I could get out to break pretty fast, maybe catch 10 balls. But somebody saying that they block, okay, is one of the things you bring to the table. That's impressive. That's impressive. So,
yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, like all those good things. I mean, running a nice route, running your favorite route, scoring a touchdown is great. But at least for me, there's just something about, block, as it's an effort thing. And there's just something about, moving another man against his will and dominating him and knowing that you beat him straight up one-on-one is just that really brings me a lot of juice.
Oh, good. I love it. Look at the man. I love it. My guy. Yeah.
So go back to so obviously you go to rookie minicamp this past weekend. You were invited to that, and then you get yesterday you get the official call that you've been signed by a team, or the night before, like 2 days ago.
Well, it was actually the day of the last day of the camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I found out right after the camp. So
talk me through that. So were you expecting it? Was it one of those things like, holy shit, like this is crazy, man? Like,
I can't say, I don't know if expecting it is accurate, but I knew I was having a good weekend. I felt good about my performances in the last 2-3 days. So I knew it was on a good trajectory, a good track. And I think it was the second day, I sat there in my bed and I was like, you know what, even if it doesn't work out, I feel like I did everything I could because, I feel like I'm having a great camp. I feel like I made plays when I had the opportunity to do so. So again, I don't know if I was expecting it, but I knew I was having a good camp, and it was awesome to hear them. They want to talk to me afterwards.
Now, was that when you got when you talked to was that Brett Veach? Did you talk to Brett Veach or Andy Reid, or what was the who were the people you talked to when you finally got the official?
Yeah, so it was no one from front office. It was and it wasn't a coach either. Just some personnel people within the organization, and they told me to meet him outside, the locker room in a certain amount of time, and I did that, and they brought me to go get physicals. So I got my whole physical checkup, got that done, and again, no one really. It was funny because no one really had said the words yet that I'm signed, but it's just like you're going through this, get your physical, go here. And then it wasn't until I saw the doctor that really said, you must have had a good camp if you're seeing me. So I was like, all right, well, I guess that's it.
Yeah. This you're just hoping they wouldn't walk you outside to show you the door, like, hey, come real quick.
Exactly.
You see this ride over here? We need for you to go ahead and take that to the airport. All right, go and get your bags, and we appreciate it, right? And so that's good, man, because it's a great feeling just to know that, like you said, that your hard work paid off. And I think, to be honest with you, that the rewarding words of it, and it was probably somebody from the director of pro scouting, or all those things, all those guys is coming down. Because those are the guys who've been putting their eyes on you from day one. They've been looking at you this entire time, and so it's good that you was able to do that. Can you divulge maybe some things they told you, like what brought them to this decision? Because they had to tell you everything like you did right? I mean, they, maybe they say, hey, maybe some things you need to work on, but they definitely tell you what you did right. Could you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much conversation, like I told you guys, with coaches specifically or front office afterwards at camp, but I got a few small compliments and comments from from Coach Nagy, from Coach Embry, the receiver coach, and Coach Andy Reid. But there wasn't a specific sit down conversation, and I'm assuming that was part of the process. Again, just that they don't want me to know, they're interested and make me feel good about myself. So, but I mean, there was just a few comments throughout the camp. Good route, nice catch, or something like that, or calling me over to fix a few things. But there wasn't anything specific, I would say.
Yeah. Connor, I know Connor. His dad was my tight ends coach in Kansas City, so I've seen Connor from being a teenager on up. So to see him in this position is something is good to see. But he's a young coach. He's a good coach. He's one of those guys. I know he's going to be very detail oriented because of his dad was like that. He's seen it. He's seen it all, man. And so being around Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, did you feel a sense of starstruck, or maybe like pinching yourself like this is real? Was any of that getting you nervous being around those guys at all?
I think a little bit, yeah. The very first organized thing we had as a whole camp was a dinner with the owner, actually, Mr. Hunt, and then Coach Andy Reid. And I didn't get to introduce myself to every coach yet, but I looked over a couple tables down, saw Coach Reid, and was like, "Hey, that's a two-time winning Super Bowl coach, Hall of Famer." And it was awesome. And then when our first team meeting the following day in the morning, him talking to us, addressing us, it was pretty surreal. Again, him standing up there, and this is a guy who just won back-to-back Super Bowls. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, that was pretty surreal.
Yeah, that's good. Andy got a little bit more hardware than that. I'm sure he's sitting there like, hey man, we wearing it all like that in front of. Did he have the rings on or anything like that?
Nah, not that I know. Not that I saw.
The one thing that I love that what the Chiefs do is, because Nagy and Brett Veach both went to Delaware, which is I believe in the same conference as Villanova, and yep. I think we do a good job. I think a lot of teams try to do that, but I think we do a good job specifically because our front office guy played ball at a small school. Our OC played ball at a small school. They do a good job of looking at all the guys in the smaller schools and stuff. And I mean, I think in the past we brought in Tano. I never could pronounce his last name, but he was also a Villanova guy, or the edge rusher from Villanova a couple of years back. And then they brought in a slew of you guys from Villanova this past year, so they do a good job of looking at the small school guys. Did you? I mean, did you, when you said you only talked to Nagy a little bit, like did he ever they talk to you about kind of had that small school connection thing, or no?
Yeah, we actually did. So there was actually 3 of us Villanova guys there this past weekend, as you mentioned. So I think it got brought up the second or third day, where one of us was that wasn't me, but one of the other guys was chirping him about the Villanova Delaware rivalry, because it's a rivalry, and at least for us, we only lost them once in the last 5 years, but we were on like a 15-year streak of beating them. So we mentioned that in passing to Coach Nagy, and he said, he fired back and said, "Not when I was there." So he, but we brought it up for sure.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Were you saying?
No, go ahead, Marcus.
No, I was gonna say that kind of the overlapping connection. I'm seeing someone here is mentioning it, but I think I read somewhere that your brothers played with Pacheco, so you do have kind of a connection on the team already.
Yeah, so I don't know how many years they played, maybe 2, I think, maybe 2 or 3. I don't know, 2 or 3 years they played with Pacheco, and I was actually slated to head there. I was committed, so I was supposed to play with him with Pacheco at Rutgers at that time, which I eventually decommitted. But yeah, they both my brothers play with Pacheco, and they know him from back their time at Rutgers.
Damn. Have you spoken to Pacheco yet since the news?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Well, it's coming up, man. It's going to be coming up. But I know you said the connection, man, with the Wildcats. I know Nagy was probably like, "Hey, Wildcat, where you at, Wildcat?" Right? But Villanova's had, when I'm looking at guys, obviously, I used to play with the Eagles too before I got out in Kansas City. So Brian Westbrook, Brian Finneran. I mean, there's some guys came from Villanova. They put their names in the NFL. Some very good players. Howie Long is another one, right? I mean, shoot, we know kind of like the history of that. Do you think that you're going to be able to add your name on to that legacy of the Villanova Wildcats playing in the NFL, man? What do you think?
I mean, obviously the right answer is I want to. And again, only time will tell. But I think those guys that you mentioned have definitely given me type of motivation coming from not just the conference, but like you said, the same exact school.
Right.
Westbrook's going to be a Hall of Famer. Finneran, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a Hall of Famer. Howie Long is a Hall of Famer, and just hearing those names and seeing what they did throughout their career, coming from the same exact school, definitely gives me a little bit of motivation to want to follow in their footsteps.
That's kind of something that stands out to me is the fact that in this day and age, and I'm not knocking guys who transfer, right? Everyone's got their own reasons for transferring and stuff, but what thing that stands out to me when I look at guys, player profiles and stuff is the fact, like, oh man, like you played and spent all your years in college at one school, and I think there's something to that, and nowadays it's unique that happens. It's rare, and obviously your numbers speak for themselves. Is what you put up while you were at Villanova. I mean, almost like 30 touchdowns, just 2,000 plus receiving yards. I mean, you freaking dominated, and like. We talk about, the prowess of Villanova, how good of a program it is. What are kind of things you learned at Villanova that kind of set you up for that you think to succeed in the next level in the NFL?
I think most of it came from the coaching staff, and I think part of it that helped me was being at a smaller school. And I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but or how I'm trying to portray it, but I think being at a smaller school where you don't have every single thing, I don't want to necessarily say handed to you, but you don't have a lot of your exposure as some of these other schools do, these Power Fives. Yeah. And I think that in a way kind of, helped the people at my school and myself grow and really learn that, if you want this, you got to do it yourself. Like if you want to excel in the classroom, you want to excel in the football field, you want to excel in the weight room, you want to excel in recovery, you got to put in the work yourself. And back to the coaches, I think our offense coordinator, has, he had professional football experience, and his playbook has definitely set me up for success. After seeing the playbook this past weekend, and the way he coaches and the way my receiver coach coaches at Villanova, I think those guys have really helped me, get ready and develop me for this next level.
What was your main personnel that y'all ran over in Villanova? And who was your offensive OC over there too?
Our offensive coordinator was Chris Bowden. So he was actually he's a Villanova Hall of Famer. I'm pretty sure he holds all the records still for quarterback. We ran a spread offense. We ran a little bit more than I would like to, but no. But we had a spread offense. But like I said, just the terminology and the way he taught things, the way he named plays, called plays, and just even the names he uses for receivers, X, Z, slot, and stuff like that. And then also the way my receiver coach coached, steps instead of yardages and alignments and stuff like that. That's all those little details have definitely, I found out this past weekend, have helped me a lot.
Yeah. Wow, man, that is good. Shoot. But sometimes it may be just the quality of coaches that you do have, where some systems guys are just not necessarily geared for it. That's been kind of like one of the things for guys when they get here to the Chiefs is, can they retain the information? Not only that, but also the terminology. Can they grasp the concepts? What do you do on particular routes? Do you know how to get open? So if I'm just sitting there saying, well, look, I know what I'm doing on cover 2 or cover 3. Well, look, what window are we looking for? Okay. We're talking about steps. How does your steps look? What if you're getting pressed at the line of scrimmage? So you get all these different things, different variables the guys got to adjust to. But having that type of experience, having that type of knowledge, man, absolutely helps out. Absolutely helps out. And I'll even go on to say, me coming from a smaller school, I played at Eastern Kentucky University. At the time it was 1AA. I always wanted to compete against, the big schools. Okay. And I had, looks from big schools to go there and whatnot. Went to Eastern and blew it out the water. Got to the combine. I wanted to see how I tested against these guys. I wanted to see what I was going to be able to do once I got into the NFL. So it was definitely motivating, and I understand exactly what you mean by that, because a lot of it is when you get to a facility like Kansas City, for us, I mean, that's big time, right? Some of these Power 5 places, and you come like Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy has everything given to him. In Texas, I mean, you got all the facilities. You got people back rubbing you, like 3 or 4 people back rubbing. You got the cryo machine, everything. Okay. I'm sure Villanova is probably modest in some of their facilities, I'm sure, right? But coming to a place like this, I think you can appreciate it more, right? You can see the hard work that you put in, the dedication, the hours that you just laid in to make it right here, right? It means a little bit more to you. I'm not saying not to anybody else, but for you, who are now, like you saying, you're earning this thing, right? You are putting the work toward this, okay? You haven't been pampered, right? And so I like the grit. I love your attitude as far as just attacking everything and just taking anything for what it is. Mr. Brown says the Texas facilities is greater than the Chiefs facilities. Yeah, I'm sure. That's the whole debate of what's going on. But we win here. This is what we're trying to do, right? It ain't all about the facilities. We about hardware and winning championships and trophies. Okay, so what's different? Real quick about facility wise from Villanova for the Chiefs facility. Have you seen anything that you was just wowed you like? Okay, this is a little bit different.
I mean, I was not the answer you want, but we were in the locker room. I mean, we used the training room a little.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him? I think we lost him for a second here. Okay.
So he's still thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. He's thinking about his answer here. All right. I mean, so far he's I love this kid.
Yeah,
that's a kid I want in my locker room right there, JD.
Yeah, man. That's what you're looking for, guys. You're looking for guys that's dedicated, right? Okay. Here we go.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. Good.
Mm-hmm. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I forget where we were at.
Oh, you're
No,
asking about facilities,
the
JD.
facilities. Yeah, the difference that you just kind of answered some of the facilities and what you saw.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was saying, we went through the team room, the locker room. I mean, we used the training room a very tiny bit, and then we didn't really use the weight room, so I couldn't really compare much. We don't have an indoor at Villanova, so that their indoor is very nice, and that's always awesome to see. But yeah, I don't really have enough to compare. We didn't really walk around much.
I got you. Straight to the field, huh? Getting
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of free time.
right.
Was that your first time in Kansas City?
Yep, first time. Yep, first time in the middle of the country, I think.
Oh wow, okay. Did they take you for some barbecue while you were there? Or did you have time for that or no?
No, I didn't.
Damn.
I saw a barbecue place in the airport, but I felt like that wasn't right to do for my first time having barbecue in Kansas City.
There you go.
That can't be your first time. No.
Yeah, no.
Smart guy.
So
Smart guy.
I saved it.
There you go. Yeah. So you from Jersey? Yeah. Now, what part of Jersey you from?
I'm from northern Jersey, so I'm about like 30 minutes west of the city of New York City.
Okay. What would it? What Wayne? I think I said I seen Wayne, right?
Yeah. That's where I went to high school. Yep.
All right, Wayne, New Jersey. You got any guys from the NFL there that came from there, around there?
Greg Olson.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Greg's a Wayne Hills alumni.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a hell of a guy right there. Now, it's a hell of a love.
Yeah, no, he's been repping us pretty good. And his father I don't know if you guys know, but his father coached him in high school, and I just missed him by a few years. But yeah, Greg Olson's a guy from our high school.
Damn, that's
okay.
That's good.
Okay.
You got a future in football and after football, little broadcasting steps to follow the Greg Olson path.
Yeah, no, he's got a good gig.
Now, so one thing I saw somebody in the chat that asked this, but I was curious too. So, two-part question here. So when it came through that you were going to play for Kansas City, obviously, the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, Patrick Mahomes, the face of the league, Travis Kelce, you could also argue another face of the league. What was going through your mind? Were you like, shoot, man, like this kind of like little heart palpitation there? I mean, like that's wild. I can't. As a Joe Schmo like me, like magically catching balls for Patrick Mahomes and being a teammate to Travis Kelce, it's holy shit. Like Taylor Swift's gonna be in my games. I mean, that's just kind of wild. What was going through your mind when you heard that? Like, were you thinking about that stuff?
Well, considering the first phone call was a minicamp invite, I knew that like nothing was guaranteed, and I wasn't guaranteed to see any of those players you mentioned at all, or let alone and any of the coaches past just the 3 days. So I think now that I got to this point and I'm signed, I still don't think it's hit me yet, until I realize, until I catch the first ball from Pat Mahomes, then I'll be a little starstruck, or sharing, standing alongside Travis, making sure I run my route where he needs me to be. I think that's when it'll really hit me. But like I said, when I first got the minicamp invite, I knew I had an opportunity. Obviously, nothing was guaranteed. So now that I'm signed, I think I had to settle in a little bit more and start to realize what I'm really about to walk into.
So have you gotten a call from Pat yet about the Texas invite yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. It's going to be coming soon. I mean, everyone's getting, all the pass catchers are getting the invites to that. So that'll be coming. We're going down to, is it Dallas? Is that where they do that, JD?
I think Dallas. Yeah, man. You ready to get on the PJ and fly down there?
He says the word on there.
I love it. Here's a good question right here. So Mr. Brownstone is asking, did you grow up as a Giants or Eagles fan? Giants or Eagles from Villanova, New Jersey. This is a tough one. Right here, man. What's the answer going to be? What we got here?
So I got this answer might not be one the Chiefs fans like, but I actually grew up a San Diego Chargers fan.
Oh, wow. What? Chargers. All the way from Wayne, New Jersey?
That's it. All across the whole entire country.
Wow. No, oh, okay. Now, how did that happen? How did okay? You got to tell this story. How did it happen? Look, everybody like, what? Like you getting some. Tell us the story, man. How'd you make his connection? How'd that happen?
Yeah, we grew up watching football. There was no really, my family wasn't into football prior. Prior to my dad, he kind of just started getting into watching it a little bit. My brothers, obviously, we started growing up playing it. So there wasn't really like a family legacy of being a fan to a certain team. So I kind of just, was watching games throughout my childhood. And I guess the earliest memory I have of a game really is watching, these light powder blue jerseys and then seeing this dude named LaDainian Tomlinson just tear up defenses. And I kind of just fell in love with the game then, fell in love with, LT, the Chargers, and been a fan ever since.
Okay.
The powder blue uniforms are pretty uniforms. I mean, objectively, forget the fact that we're Chiefs guys here. They are pretty uniforms. You got to love that color.
Definitely.
Yeah, they fire. I ain't gonna lie about that. They are for sure. Those teams that you were talking about, those were the guys I was going against. Okay, LT, when you Gatesy, all those guys when you're talking about it, man. Sean Phillips, Sean Merriman, lights out Merriman. Okay, I was banging heads against those guys. Rodney Harrison. I mean, you name it. Those are the dudes that I was going against. Okay, and so I don't know. I felt a little bit way right there, Jaren. I don't know, man. You know what? The hits started hitting me, coming back at me. But no, look, man, it's not a bad team. It's not a bad team. LT was a dog out there for sure, man. And so I love competing against that team, man. They had a squad. They had a really good squad at the time. So, yeah. Powder Blue is the one that got you in, huh? Got you in.
That's it. It was the jerseys.
Yeah, now LT comes up here to the Jets, though, right?
Yeah, he did. That was later in his career.
Yeah, what do you think?
But there was
no shot in at that point.
No shot room for the Jets, though.
You're still getting comments here. Everyone's loving this Chargers bit right here. You get to meet Drew Tranquil. That's a former Charger there. So there you go.
Yep.
Is there anybody on this team that you're excited to meet? Like the one guy that kind of like, obviously, the Mahomes of the world and stuff, but like, is there anybody on the team like, damn, I can't wait to meet so-and-so? Is there a player that you're like, that really stands out to you that you really are excited to meet?
I mean, like you said, how can you not be excited to meet Mahomes and Kelsey? I mean, they're both. Yeah. I know they're face of the league. It's an easy answer, but just being able to meet those guys who I know are at the height of their career, really, or just it's tough not to say those two, man. Just again, as I mentioned earlier, those are two future Hall of Famers, so definitely those two for sure.
Well, don't go in calling them Mr. or Sir. Okay, don't do anything like that. All right? You're gonna date them. You're gonna make them feel old, especially Travis. So don't do that to him. All right.
I got you.
Go there calling them pops.
Yeah. Before you like, yes sir. You're like, look, man, Dad got it. Come on.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Act like you've been there before. So now you'll be okay. You'll be all right. Now you're an outgoing guy. Would you go up to the guys and be like, hey man, look, just wanted to meet you. Wanted to say, man, I just love your game, all those different things, or are you kind of more of a stand back guy and let it all just kind of play out however?
I might be in between. If I see the opportunity, I'm not gonna, interrupt their group conversation of vets. But if Trav or Mahomes is walking throughout the locker room or the hallway, I'll definitely stop. Introduce myself.
Okay, I got you. You gonna ask for an autograph?
No.
There you go. I was gonna say, man,
you're testing the kid over here.
Yeah, man, I got to find out the answers. This is interview answers, right? This is how the questions go. So you got to find out, man, where guys at, man. These are your peers now, okay? Yeah. You are there, all right. Now you have to do is solidify it and keep it for a long career, Jaren. That's all you have to do, man. Right? Just focus up and make sure you just stay where you need to stay at, man. Just handling business. I know you've seen where this wide receiver group is somewhat in I don't know, a conundrum in a sense, right? There's some things that's kind of going on in this position group that's been happening. Are you pretty familiar with everything that's been going on around the Chiefs? Huh? Just as far as like things off the field, obviously, we talked about, their star, Rashee Rice, the last year was able to do some things. When you go into this thing, okay, there's certain number of spaces, right? We understand that there's only going to be certain number of things. And I heard you say that you're going to do everything you need to do special teams wise, because that's what it's going to take, right? You want to make that 53-man roster or be on a practice squad where you can move up from that. Those are the things that you got to give to the team and the squad, right? Their dedication. So with this kind of being where it is with the wide receiver group, how do you feel like just your chances, going out there, man, and just kind of doing what you're going to do? Just kind of speak on that a little bit, man, because I like hearing those things, right? That obviously you're not scared of any opportunity you have or any type of challenges you got, but just kind of talk about, man, the positive thought process that you got, what the things that you're going to do for dedicated to this craft you got.
Yeah, I mean, if I was joining any team, I think I would just, I would stick to the same mindset, do the same things that I plan on doing, and that's stuff that I mentioned that I did in college is extra film work for sure, extra recovery, extra field work, getting extra catches in. And I think one of the biggest things that, I've heard from either guys who have been in the league or just advice overall is finding that one guy, whether it be a 3-year vet or a 10-year, 15-year vet, finding that one vet that you could trust, that respects you and that you could ask questions constantly 24/7 and getting under his wing. And I think, talking with some guys at the Chiefs, I think one guy I'm super excited, or at least two guys. One being in my position group is Justin Watson, just because, again, we mentioned earlier, small school guy. He came from UPenn. I kind of followed his career ever since he jumped in the league because he kind of got into the league as soon as I went to college. So he was a guy that I saw and said, well, he came from an Ivy League school. I can do the same thing. So I followed him from Tampa Bay to Chiefs, and I think he's going on year 5 or 6 now. So he knows how to stay around in the league now. And being in the same receiver room is awesome. And another guy, obviously, I'm not gonna bug the starting quarterback, but a guy like Carson Wentz, who has a lot of years under his belt and obviously knows how to win. And if I get a chance to talk to a guy like that, but anyone I could really get a chance to, like I said, I could stick with, I think that's my plan, is to learn the routine of what to do on the field, off the field, just a daily life of an NFL player and what it takes to succeed in this league.
Yeah. Carson Wentz, if he wants any extra throws or anything like that on the sideline, man, you make sure you be there like Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
I mean, for real. And the thing is, you got to be available. And you just let these guys know, man. And that means a lot. It speaks volumes for guys. You would be shocked the number of guys that get into the NFL and think that they already made it. Maybe not get extra catches after practice or do the little things, to make a lasting impression. But doing those things and seeing what guys need, like a quarterback, like, hey, man, I run a couple of 9 routes or, some comebacks for whatever you need. Slants, shoot, it shouldn't even be a question. So my thing, man, you just keep that focus in, like I said, those things, man, and just make sure you're Johnny on the spot all the time. So I'm looking over here. So some of these things, man. So JD Too Nice. Okay, Noah John Marshall, JD Too Nice. That's a horrible ass. I don't know what he's talking about right there.
I think he wanted you to be harder on him for the whole Chargers thing. That's what I think he means.
Yeah.
Man. Hey, man. Hey, look, guys like who they like, right? They like who they like. I ain't. Nah.
Who did you like going when you got? Because you got drafted by the Eagles, but who's your team going into when you got drafted?
So, Jaren, I'm from Kentucky. That's where I'm at right now. And so just in proximity, I used to watch Cincinnati, the Bengals, but obviously, man, I was more individual watcher as opposed to team, because you just really have anything over here at the time. We didn't really have, the Titans went this way. So I used to like Walter Payton back in the day, man. I used to watch him dominate some of the Redskins, Washington, and then, man, who else? San Fran, of course, right? Cowboys, Green Bay, Reggie. So there's a lot of different guys I used to just watch. I didn't really have teams, like I said, it was more individuals than anything else. So,
that's one of these things. For fans, you get mad if a player didn't like that team. I mean, he didn't know what team he's going to be playing on. Now Jaren's going to be a Chiefs guy, and he's going to wear the cherry red now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, Jaren. Obviously, you said you grew up, you're a big LT fan, but who are some of the players that receiver wise when you were growing up, and even still to this day, what kind of guys you kind of modeled your game after, or you tried to kind of emulate in a way?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to guys that are a little bit, I don't want to say older, but guys that I watched growing up that really made me love the game, and I didn't really try to emulate the game until I got to college, when I was really able to control what I could do, understand the type of body. I'm fully grown now. The type of body I am. I'm height, weight. Our two guys specifically that I have in mind always is Steve Smith Sr. and Julian Edelman, who are guys that are just not the tallest, not really the fastest, but just like I mentioned earlier about the run game. Like I just love the tenacity they play with. They do whatever they need to do to get open. They catch every single ball that comes their way. But I think those are two guys that I could say I played like.
Yeah, man. That's two hell of guys right there. Sure.
Yeah, two badasses,
Yeah, man. Well, man, look, this is something, man, that we enjoy having you here on the show to come in and just kind of talk about your experience a little bit. Letting the kingdom get you a good look at you right now, talk to you somewhat. Obviously, sometimes we're out there at practice and guys are kind of flying around. It's hard to, really, capture guys and tether them down for a quick little conversation. But man, look, we appreciate it. We appreciate you coming out here, man. I know everybody who's out here on the chat just wanted to see your disposition. Make sure that your eyes are not like saucers or nothing. You know what I mean? And it just, but I think you're ready to capture the moment. Main thing, man, when you go in, just make sure you compete at the fullest. Each and every day, right? Each and every day. So, looking forward to you, man. Looking forward to seeing you out there at practice. I'm gonna get out there. I'll definitely come see you during this summer when I get there. So I'll always like stick my head in and say what's up. Okay, so I'll definitely have to run into you, see what Wayne Cowling and what the Wildcats are doing. What up, Wildcat? What up, Wildcat? So you'll know you hear my voice. It's coming from me. All right.
But before we go, I got to ask you this question, Jaren. We have two questions. So one question from our guy Mike Brennan here. What does our wide receiver like to do in his downtime? So what stuff do you do during downtime?
A lot of golf, that's for sure. Love golfing. Love some good old video games. Chill out, listen to music, video games. So it's that video games and golfing are probably my two top.
Okay.
Top ones.
Scratch golfer?
Not yet. I'm getting a new club soon. I'm getting a new club soon though, so maybe that'll help.
Okay. Well, good. Well, look, do you have that obviously in with Kelsey and Pat, man? Maybe go out there and play around with them.
That'd be awesome. That'd be an awesome experience.
It'd be a good time for sure.
And then last thing I want to, I always whenever we have our UDFA guys come on the show and stuff, and I know John Marshall actually, I didn't realize this, but we're 3 for 3 of having UDFA guys come on our podcast, and all 3 of them made the active team. So we got good luck on this show. So we're looking to go 4 for 4. But I want to be able to. I just want to ask you this. For the fans who are going to be watching this, maybe not on the live stream, but fans who maybe catch the episode later on tonight or later on this week. Can you kind of tell the Chiefs Kingdom what kind of player they're getting in Jaaron Hayek?
Yeah, I think I alluded a little bit throughout this podcast, but I'm going in to really be a sponge. I think that should be every rookie's goal is I'm going to go and be a sponge. Like I mentioned earlier, try to stick to one or two vets that I could really have on my side that I could talk to 24/7, ask them for advice. But you're going to get a hard worker. I know a bunch of guys say that, but I'm going to work my tail off in whatever it is, the weight room, the training room, the film room, on the field, off the field, like whatever I need to do. I'm going to try to win on all aspects of life. And I'm going to stay down, keep my head down and work, stay humble. I know nothing's given to me. I haven't earned anything yet. And I sure as heck haven't been given anything yet. So just going to stay humble and do my thing.
Good. Humility, man, and just program your mind for the best. I see, man, I heard you threw up 20 reps on the 225.
Yeah, I did.
It's crushing it, man.
I told you I like to block.
Yeah, you're a strong guy, man. I don't think people realize that, man. For a guy 6'1" with 198, 200, where you at? Somewhere around there?
Yep. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, you throwing up some weight. Shoot, throwing up some weight now. You gonna hit somebody in the mouth.
All right, Jaren. Well, I'll let you get away to go watch that. Your Knicks play. I think the second half's about to start. So I'll let you go do that. But hey, man, would love to have you back on at some point later on the summertime. And yeah, we would love to continue to see your journey, man. See you keep going.
No doubt. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We're gonna keep tabs on you, brother. We're gonna keep tabs on you. All right. Make sure just stay healthy out there. Keep working hard. Okay. All right. And you're gonna be fine. Everything is gonna be all right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Will do. Until then, I'll keep seeing red and thinking Super Bowls.
There you go, brother. There you go, my brother. Good deal. Good deal. All right.
See you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.